If you're a B2B service offer owner, SuperWave allows you to launch, scale, and test so that you can flood your calendar with qualified clients in less than 24 hours. And we do this by using a simple trick we call hyperscale. Hyperscale has allowed one of our clients to book over 1,600 appointments in the last 90 days. That's roughly 27 demos a day for a high-ticket B2B service. Using this hyperscale approach, we've actually been able to cut outbound costs by up to 80%. We've actually increased the quality in the amount of qualified prospects that you can contact every single day. And this allows you to consistently and reliably bring in cold hard results. And this is without needing hundreds of users, hundreds of domains. And you don't even have to wait for email compliance to kick in, because this is the system we give you out the gate. And you might be wondering, how is this possible? How are we doing it? What's with all the gimmicky buzzwords? So let me explain that. Tristan runs a Web3 solutions company. Before, Tristan had issues scaling with G Suite and Soho. It was expensive and complex, and it just becomes a headache to manage so many domains for outreach. Alias is now booking 20 to 40 calls a day using SuperWave and collected around 100K in cash collected in just 3 weeks. These results are great. However, we've been able to bypass industry custom spam filter solutions, which is the case with Ben. Now, Ben reaches out to pharmaceutical companies, and I won't go into detail about how difficult something like this is to pull off, but the fact that they spent thousands of dollars a year for custom spam filters, he was able to book 4 big pharma companies in 2 weeks, all amounting 12 figures in just 2 weeks. And so is the same with Adelphi. They're an ERC solutions company. Before, they hadn't tried any email outbound until they joined SuperWave, and they were able to book 30 appointments for their high-ticket tax refund service offer and generated over 1.1 million in pipeline opportunity in just 24 hours. And this was just because they were allowed to send 40,000 emails from 20 domains with 95% deliverability. And look, none of these are industry-specific results. We're quite literally giving you a smoking gun for you to aim and shoot at whatever market your offer wants to operate in. And it should also demonstrate the sophistication level of our email infrastructure. So much so that we're guaranteeing that if you don't at least double or triple your B2B sales volume and sales output in the next 90 days, we're just going to simply refund you. It's overwhelming to see this amount of results, and we still have a lot more to show you, which you'll actually see down below on this page. However, the gimmick here, right, the big catch all here, is that simply being able to test email angles much faster will get you feedback much quicker, and you can make those right adjustments so that your emails can generate greater results, especially when you're at scale. And this just means more clients and more revenue. It's not complicated. It's not rocket science. On top of that, just by booking a call, we're going to give you access to hundreds of email scripts we've used to book thousands of calls using cold email. And in that market analysis session, we're going to take you through the process of not only using the tool, but finding, sourcing, and launching email campaigns. Quite literally an A through C walkthrough. And just as an added bonus, we're going to provide you with our blueprint for our 0 to 200K launch, which roughly took us 5 weeks. And it should be pretty obvious how we did our launch strategy for SuperWave. And we're going to give you access to the funnel frameworks, the VSLs, the scripts that we use to launch and scale so you can use it yourself. And that's just for simply booking a call with us. And just to emphasize, our business model quite literally relies on you growing, because if you grow, we grow. Our clients using email generating more revenue just means they're going to keep upgrading your plans and upgrading your servers. So we pretty much work together, where the biggest risk here you have is that your competitors actually go ahead and use this tool against you. And at least you'll get the bonuses that I mentioned above. So this is for anyone that's using cold emails as an outbound way to generate business opportunities. And even if you don't have a proper outbound system, we're actually going to hook you up, but I'm actually going to tell you that a little bit later on. If you don't, we're actually just going to show you how we can actually help you acquire clients via cold email. And like I mentioned, we're going to explain that a little bit further. But this is not if you're a beginner and you're looking to get your free freelancing client, or if you haven't built a business before. I promise you will be lost and most likely blame us for either having a bad offer or a product. We're not a coaching program. This is strictly for B2B business owners who are looking for consistent and predictable growth. And you can only really achieve these if you have a solid offer, a proper working service delivery system, or if you have a working product. If you have any of these three, SuperWave will explode your business in record time. And look, if that's enough for you and just want to see how SuperWave can apply to your business and even show you how it works, there's a button down below that will lead you to speak to me or someone in my team that will help you get you set up, like everyone else in this video below has. And if you still have any more doubts, we have a 90-day performance-based refund, meaning that if you're not able to at least break even with our tool, we're just going to refund you. And now, if you actually want to see how it works, it's actually what I'm going to get into for the rest of the video. And look, if there's anything I missed, there should be a chat with us button down below on this page where we can answer any of your questions before we even hop on a call. That should allow us to get anything that's left out of the way or anything unclear before we actually hop on the call. So look, my name's David, and close to over a year and a half ago, I operated and co-owned a lead generation agency called BrandifyX that catered to B2B SaaS, where me and my team gathered hundreds of results for our clients and scaled well above $80,000 a month. And look, well, I have a decent amount of results, and those results will flash across the screen. Superwave changes what you know fundamentally about cold email, because it would have allowed my margins to be much, much bigger. Just saving money on infrastructure costs, I would have gotten those exact same results much quicker. That 6 to 7 figure deal flow I was able to bring these companies could have achieved. It could have been achieved in so much faster, in a much faster timeline. And it would have helped me scale well above $80,000 a month, because I could have just gotten those exact same results, sign more clients. You get where I'm going with this. Keep in mind, I was in the business of getting clients for my clients. And Superwave is just that one-of-a-kind tool that does exactly what I just said before. It allows you to scale. You're any sort of familiar with how outbound works currently, you'd have to wait weeks for you to get a warm-up period out, for you to even get a test out. You get that immediately out the gate. And look, we're actually just going to show you how Superwave works. So let's get right into it. I'm actually going to remove my face cam just to emphasize the importance of the next 3 minutes. What you're seeing right now is a copy of the schematic that we use to take Superwave to 200K in 5 weeks using cold email outreach as our primary source of lead generation. It's actually a step-by-step. You'll get this one if you do book a call. And for the sake of not getting very technical, I'm only going to go over the process of getting a Superwave domain and how it compares to traditional B2B practices. And if you're aware of them, or if maybe you aren't aware of them, you're going to gain some key insight into how our process looks like to generate these results. So to get a Superwave domain set up, you're going to give us your domain. Doesn't matter if it's old, new, if you just bought it. We're going to shoot you over DNS settings for you to change. And then once you change those DNS settings, we'll generate 99 users for you. And then once that's set up, roughly takes around an hour to get this whole thing set up, you'll have a Superwave domain, which one Superwave domain on its day one roughly sends out around 700 emails a day. And that's just us handicapping you just to see if you have any issues or if you're not very experienced with it. We just set a hard limit there. Just that one domain is capable of sending 700 emails that same day. And again, I'm going to send you a copy of all of this. This is generically how a B2B email structure, or how a B2B email flow kind of looks like. Which again, you're going to get a copy of this, but the important part is down here. So let's just say you and I are in the same market. We're selling the same tool. And just to level the playing field, everything except the logo is the same. We have the same product. We have a great product. And if you don't have market fit, let's just say our TAM in this case is around 100,000 prospects. And again, it could be a lot more just depending on the software industry you work in. Traditionally, running an outbound prospecting requires you to link a brand new domain to a warm-up tool, which, by the way, they got banned earlier this year. Not sure how many are still around, if there are any still around. You plug it in, and then you have to wait 4 weeks. And bottom line, you can send around 40 emails per day per domain. That same exact day that you buy and plug your domain to your warm-up tool, I'm going to go ahead and plug mine into my Superwave domain. Brand new domain. And with only 10 domains, I can contact around 8,000 people that same day. It's kind of insane. So that day one, I can actually craft around 7 scripts, 7 offers. By day 2, I'll have some results, possibly some calls. I'm going to take my best performing campaign, load up another 8,000 prospects. And look, if we're looking at a 1% book rate, by that time that you bought, plugged, and you woke up the next day, I'll have around 160 responses. I already have some market feedback. I'll have probably some calls booked and possibly a working script with 1%. The biggest issue we face as entrepreneurs isn't really getting clients. Is the process of how we build the product, how we build a good product, how we build a good service, how we craft an idea, how we launch an idea. To get to that point, we need feedback above all else. We're building with our eyes closed if we don't have that market feedback. And traditional prospecting requires time, not money. Superwave throws that out the window. Just overall, the way this entire thing's set up, if we were to follow, again, and we spread the 100,000 prospects across, we're only going to use working days, so around 20 days. We would need roughly 5,000 emails a day. And if we were to follow the traditional method, we'd be looking at around 125 warmed up domains. And at the end of the day, we still need to wait a whole month for this thing to be even possible. That's after a whole month. With Superwave, we can just do that with 7 domains and we can work on it day one. So by the time that the traditional domains are already warmed up, we're already done and we've already pretty much analyzed, and we could scale if we so wanted to. This 100,000 prospects, if we were to just double this a day, we'd cut that 20 days short, right? So we'd go back to 10 days. In 10 days, we'd already have gone through the total addressable market. And that's if we have a product that's scalable without much fulfillment on that side. And again, you have to think about a monthly payment. Superwave is a one-time payment. If it takes forever for you to figure out if your product, service, or software is something that the market wants and you just get stuck waiting, setting up a domain to be able to do outreach takes 2/3 of a quarter to reach its full potential, to reach its full sending potential. That's so much time wasted in the business world. A whole quarter has gone by and you're still wondering and testing your ideas. In that same time, I've already probably contacted everyone in that same space and I already have market validation within the first 2 days. That's how ridiculous this tool is. On top of that, Google outright banned on February 23rd this year warm-up tools, which is a technique used to make your outreach strategy compliant. Your email outbound strategy is just getting progressively harder to scale and also getting more expensive. You still run into the same issue as everyone else. Your domain's still at risk of getting blacklisted, so you can never really use a .com for outreach or any of your own domains. And if you try to scale too fast, you're gonna get slapped in the wrist as well. They'll just straight up disable your domain. So why on earth in 2023 would you even try to do cold email outreach? Simple. Because it's extremely effective if you do it properly and you're not just spamming. It also scales really good if your ticket price is above $8,000 per year. And if you find an email script that books you even at the minimum of 1%, you can send to your entire TAM within the next 24 hours. And it's pretty dead simple. You're going to get flooded with calls. With Superwave, you can become proficient in outbound prospecting with 1 or 2 weeks. And this is the new way of doing email outbound at scale. With Superwave, it looks something like this. You use less than 5 domains to do all your outreach, so you don't have to spend time, money, buying domains, setting up email accounts, using text verifier to verify the accounts, mess with the Google admin console, keep paying $6 per email account every single month for a name at your domain. You get to skip the entire warm-up period and launch campaigns that exact same day. Now, all you really need is an idea, a service, an offer, a product that you want to sell. You write email scripts and then you scrape the leads in that exact same day. You'll know if it's worth spending time pursuing that idea or not. The warm-up period is simply Google trying to limit scam and spam prevention on their platform. You, however, are a B2B business. Your business should not one day just stop email outbound because Google says that you should. And you could also hit hyperscale with emails in just hours. If you have product market fit, if you so wanted to take that approach, you could book 300 calls tomorrow, which again goes back to you can validate offers in 48 hours, meaning that if you did hit product market fit faster and you wanted to penetrate adjacent industries, if you wanted to, you could. Instead of waiting 60 days until you start seeing results, you can start booking meetings right away. The gap between you signing a client or a customer and collecting cash, it decreases. It allows you to scale much faster, and it removes the worst part of cold email, which is the technical setup. And you only get to focus on high leverage tasks like writing scripts, closing deals, and you also get to increase your margins, and you also decrease the complexity since you don't have to pay $6 every single month for 100 users, tools, and domains. Like I said, Superwave is that hidden weapon. It's quite literally a builder's dream because you can test, you can launch, you can scale, and just using the same tool over and over again. And the way we made this possible is because we built our custom email server grid the same way companies like Microsoft, Google, and Zoho have done in the past. But instead of trying to cater to everyone, we specialize in B2B sending structure. This allows us to not just build a better customer experience for you, but it also we use our own platform to scale our service. We know what we're doing when it comes to scaling via email because that's exactly how we're doing it. The only thing comparable to Superwave is running ads. And with ads, you set up campaigns, you do ad test until you find a creative that works, then you increase the budget to scale. But let's be real, that's just way harder for B2B, simply because you still have to consider CPMs, ad spend, CPAs, funnels, still making those creatives. And a great example of an average CPM on Facebook at this moment, as of July 6th, is around $15 per 1,000 impressions. And if you wanted to reach the highly target that we just mentioned before, that 100K in TAM, it's going to cost you around $1.5 million before we even know if it's worth or even if the market wants it. That whole process might take months versus you having your own infrastructure that allows you to get the exact same results consistently and predictably. And that's not to say running ads is worse. However, when it comes to results and getting close to what a fully built out ads funnel with product market fit could do for your business, or even if it just helps you find product market fit in less than 30 days, don't you think that's worth it? Today, I'm putting the equivalent of 1.5 million in ad spend potential reach for you to be able to test, for you to be able to launch and scale at will just using Superwave. The risk here is that you don't hop on a call and at least see what Superwave can do for your business in the next 48 hours. And like I said, book a call down below, make an assessment of the case studies you see down below, because we have a whole bunch more to show you. And as we're out of beta testing, the next 10 Superwave users that actually book call are getting reserved pricing only available to beta partners. However, that pricing is based on your needs. So you're only going to get custom plans tailored to what your needs are. On top of that, we're going to give you access to hundreds of email scripts that we've used to book thousands of calls using cold email. You're actually going to get that as well. And on top of that, an in-depth market analysis session, we're going to take you through the process of using the tool, finding, sourcing, and launching an email campaign with us, and countless other resources to get you off on the right foot. We're also working on a couple AI email tools to just build on top of everything. And that elusive 0 to 200K in 5 weeks launch strategy, where we give you access to the funnel framework, the VSLs that we actually use to launch and scale just to deploy. And that's just for booking a call with us. You also get access to a community of B2B service owners like you, getting crazy results where you can network with and that are actually using our tool to book calls. And on top of that, an exclusive discount to a whole bunch of B2B tools that we're working with a lot of the founders with that you're going to need to run this operation with. Like I said, we're happy to be part of the leading innovation of that B2B space at a foundation level, where this tool rewrites everything you knew about cold email, any course you've taken, any program. And an entire industry is about to change as of July 2023. And we would like to make you part of that Superwave team to make that happen. So book a call down below. You'll speak to me directly, and we'll get Superwave set up with you as soon as possible. This has been David. See you on the call.